Okay, time for our latest reading. From Jacinda, The Untold Stories. This is by David Cohen and Rebecca Keeler. It is available for around $35 on the Centrist website. Best place to buy it, go to the Centrist, and it's bloody good. It's an unauthorised biography, and it's a hell of a lot better than the book that Jacinda wrote about herself, called A Different Kind of Power. Yeah, the different kind of cover-up power. A different kind of police commissioner. A different kind of deputy commissioner. A different kind of pornography. But we've talked last reading we did. This is my fourth reading. And this reading is about her OE, which she kind of skipped over. And I got to say, this is well written by David Cohen. He is quite a bitchy little guy. But he's good. So let me just read through here. In 2006, armed with research experience and networking opportunities, Jacinda decided to enhance her resume by moving abroad. She flew out to New York, where she couch surfed and worked for an unspecified period at a soup kitchen. Her 2 American trips and, of course, the years of growing up in a church headquartered in Salt Lake City helped sharpen her appreciation for the nuances and vocabulary of American political culture. This would later influence her political communication style, not to mention the pro-American tilt in her foreign policy, significantly boosting her North American profile into the 2020s. It also put her in a knowledgeable position to ply the local news media when it went American in its reporting style. A decade on, for example, when she led her party into the 2017 general election, the campaign was invariably described both by her comms team and the media as presidential. This, even though American presidents are specifically elected, whereas leaders in parliamentary democracies are chosen by their own parties and caucuses. Even her cat wasn't spared Americanisms. When the tabby was killed in an accident, her comms team and the news media said, in the words of one news outlet, the new leader was mourning the loss of the nation's first cat, Paddles. Imported American phrases like inside the Beltway started rumbling out of the Prime Minister's office. The real Beltway is a 14-lane road encircling Washington, D.C., although the name dates back to 1975, when it was used by the New York Times writer Nicholas Horrock. Most reporters in New Zealand probably first heard it when dealing with the new executive or else binging on episodes of The West Wing. Jacinda's ultimate destination for her OE was the United Kingdom, where she was eligible to work. Soon enough, London stood before her under perpetually grey-lidded skies, the slates of its gabled roofs washed with rain. But Jacinda wasn't so much there for the poetic grandeur as the pulse of public service and the promise of learning. The city, vast and layered, offered her a vantage point into the machinery of government, first through the Cabinet Office, then the Home Office, where policy was shaped not in slogans but in spreadsheets, briefings and quiet negotiations. From interviews, we get the picture of her walking the corridors of Whitehall with a sense of purpose, absorbing the rhythms of bureaucracy. She worked as a policy advisor in an 80-person unit of the Cabinet Office, known as the Better Regulation Executive, a job title that would end conversation in most polite company, she later joked. And if this was removed from the inner sanctum of Blair, his finance minister Gordon Brown and his chief strategist and comms man Alistair Campbell, she could look forward to having the last laugh, Campbell becoming tainted by his support for the US and UK's military adventure in Iraq, and in time the tables would turn, with Ardern the focus of international attention and people like Campbell reduced to finding sufficient superlatives to praise her. So that's quite a nice little look into her being a policy wonk in Britain on her big OE.